Ghost Talks. Ghost Talks.
Like the audio right there is just mad.
Ghost Talks. Coming soon. Hey y'all, welcome.
We got cut short. Live and unedited. Yes, we got cut short.
That's fun.
Okay, so this is a new program we're working on. Obviously, it's called OBS, and we think we got a better setup than we did the last time. Although we're still trying to tweak it, which means that's why we're a little late tonight, and which is why we went from the intro into the main camera really quick without the video finishing.
All right.
Okay, so
That's good.
let's try.
We still learning.
Actually, it is live, and let's try this again, Tracy. Go back to.
Oh my gosh.
Go back to our image. Go
back to the
intro. The intro.
Roll
Okay.
the intro.
Come in.
The volume's down on the desktop audio.
Yeah.
You gotta turn that on too. I think we gotta.
Happy Christmas!
Boy.
All right, let's try this again.
What's under that chair?
What's happening?
There we go. That's the way we'll start.
Would you like your mic on?
Right now, no. Right now, only when you get the main camera.
It resets.
Has it been live?
Every time.
There we go. Hey everyone. Ghost here again. For a second episode of Ghost Talks. We're trying to tweak a new setup, which is why we finished a little. We started a little late. So tonight I'm with Colin again. This time we got Melanie with us, and of course I got Carl on the left side again. So as we talked about on our last episode, we talked about an experience that happened at the Trinity, which was the main focus of the episode, our last show. And this episode we said we're going to actually show you a few clips of what we caught at some of the locations again in Aquay. So, as far as evidence, like we didn't really catch a lot. Really, we caught a few things, and then we actually debunked a few things right after the fact. After the fact. Live and yes. Kyle, so we debunked a few things after because you came over, re-looked at some evidence, and then we said no, it's debunked. So a lot of the files were.
There is a couple of things that we couldn't put up in time, but it was all concentrated in probably about 45 minutes. In our EVP session in Eleanor's room. Other than that, there wasn't too much, but it was pretty concentrated, and there was quite a bit happening to me.
Well, I think we both reviewed the audio from a lot of the stuff in Gananoque, and we both put it on the same thing, which we thought we had a lot, but me and you put it on the same evidence. So that's what happened. So we are going to show you a few clips that we did capture, and you guys can decide whether you want to call this paranormal or not. So which first clip do we have? We do have a clip. Okay, this is a clip that we captured at the Trinity, and this was the beginning of the night. Unfortunately, you weren't there at the Trinity, which was unfortunate. Colin was there, Kyle was there. So we caught a clip. I was alone in the Trinity with Eileen, which unfortunately is not with us anymore. And we caught an EVP where she's walking around, and she has the camera with her. And right after she finishes talking, you hear a voice, what we think is a voice saying no. So you guys, we're going to cue this up for you right now, and you guys can decide whether or not you think it's paranormal, or if you guys can give us an idea of if you want to give your suggestions on what you think it may be. Go ahead and do that on our Facebook channel or directly on our YouTube channel. So Tracy, if you can cue that up, the no from the Trinity.
I did not catch it. It's possible that it was just shadow.
Hopefully that worked.
I hope it worked. If you guys can comment, if you guys heard that, like I said, we're still trying to tweak this new setup that we have. It's obviously we're still in the tweaking stages. So anyways,
put the headphones on and play it again. See if we can hear it.
All I hear is feedback from you guys talking.
Mute us.
Okay. So.
I did not catch it. It's possible that it was just a shadow, but
We're back.
Technical difficulties again.
We're still tweaking the system.
Yeah. I don't know if the audio is gonna have the evidence is gonna have audio. If we can't figure it out while we're live, we'll have to try to figure it out for our next stream. Yeah, I guess we'll just talk about it. You gotta believe us, guys.
You gotta believe it.
Oh my. Okay. So
we're still learning.
We're still learning on this new setup we have. So we're gonna try to maybe queue up the next one. This was also caught at the Trinity House. We were doing a revolving EVP, and I think this is coming from Taylor's recorder. She was, I think it was in the basement, the morgue. And we're doing a revolving EVP. Actually, it was Taylor and Adam that were down there. I remember Adam being there. And for some reason, and nobody tagged it, there's two barking sounds. And you can clearly hear, as long as the audio was working on this, you can hear it's like two barks.
It's not from outside.
And it's not from outside. It seems like it's coming from within the Trinity. We don't know where it's coming from, so we'll cue this one up for you right now.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys heard that or not.
Actually, could you guys comment on our YouTube channel? Let us know,
I'll take a
or
picture
even check our Facebook channel. Give us a quick shout out there and let us know if you can hear the audio and the evidence. Like I said, we're still trying to tweak this, and if you didn't hear it, we'll try to re-cue it again within the episode so you can actually get a listen to it. So we also have at the Bullock House. This one you attended the Bullock House, right? So. In this audio, it's Taylor talking, I think.
Which one is it?
Which room?
Well, this is a new one that I found. There's Taylor talking. I think it might be you. So somebody's talking, and when they end talking, no, it is you.
It is me.
It is Melanie. So Melanie's talking, and she confirmed that that's definitely not her. So she talks, and then suddenly you hear like an sound, which is not one of us. So we don't know where that's coming from. So we'll let you listen to this one now.
These objects that are in here, which objects are you attached to? What did you own? These objects that are in here, which objects are you attached to? What did you own?
Oh, cool. So, okay, I have comments up here.
Okay.
So I can read your comments on YouTube now. If anybody wants to comment.
Jay.
We'll respond and we'll answer and we'll try to fix any sort of technical difficulties that we seem to be experiencing. Andrew says that he says sounds like no, so we must have been able to hear.
So the audio is going through. I think we just can't hear it, but the audio is going through. Yeah.
Oh, there's a big echo going on, guys. Mute the desktop audio?
Yeah.
Hopefully that works.
no, because I can still hear it.
Live and unedited.
So I have to.
One sec.
Okay, so we got an echo. Hey guys.
I think it's fine.
I think it's better.
It's fine. Okay.
It's fine now.
So they heard the audio then. So you guys did hear the audio, so that's great. If you guys can keep commenting on either YouTube or Facebook to let us know.
YouTube.
Again, for those maybe that are just tuning in now, we're trying a new setup with different cameras, different audio, better microphones. We're still trying to actually tweak this on OBS. It's a broadcasting kind of software. So we're still kind of trying to tweak this. So if you guys can comment and let us know if there's any issues or you can't hear the audio, let us know on Facebook or YouTube. So
the echo sounds better.
Okay, so Evidence-wise, in Gananoque, we did, on December 1st and 2nd, we did, and we talked about this the last episode, we did the Trinity House, Banana Split, and Donovan's. Unfortunately, we didn't catch, you weren't there, unfortunately, like I said, in Gananoque. But Kyle, we didn't catch anything, the Banana Split ice cream parlor at all because of contamination.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
we just kind of queued a couple of audio pieces that we'd like to get your comments on that we caught at the Trinity. And we also did, we queued one that we caught at the Bullock. The Bullock also, we really didn't catch much at the Bullock House, did we?
Well, like I said, it was all in concentrated.
The cellar door.
The cellar, the
safe door. That was just absolutely unexplainable.
Did we actually explain that story?
No.
I don't know. I think we should
tell that story.
Tell the story. You tell the story, Melanie. Like what happened? This was just freaky.
Okay, so
live and unedited. You're fine. Don't even
here
be
we
pressured.
go. Okay, so
you're just having a conversation and we're just talking. That's
this is what happened.
Explain the safe.
Okay, so the safe. So there's a safe downstairs in the basement of the Bullock House. And essentially, you can't lock that door. So when we went downstairs, the owner first told us, like, oh, you can't lock the door. So you can close the first one. It's just a latch. But the second one was the one with the bolt lock that had the mechanism on it to lock it. So they said never close it. So we were like, okay, we won't. So I guess this door got closed during mid-investigation. And
it was me. I closed by accident.
Dan was the culprit. And just not thinking, it's just, if a door's open, you kind of close it, right? Just out of respect, but that's probably, what happened. I'm thinking that's what happened, right, Dan? Probably.
Yeah.
And so anyways, we get there, and we can't open that door. So we tried everything. We tried pushing it. We tried using the mechanism to open it. It wouldn't open. So we call the owners from upstairs, and we bring them downstairs, and we can't get it open. So they said, well, now we're going to have to call a locksmith in to open and, open this door, but it would decrease the integrity of the whole authentic piece of metal and the originality of it. So unfortunately, we were upset for, we were disappointed in ourselves for a little while after that. And all of a sudden, Dan thought he heard some shuffling downstairs, right? You thought you heard someone shuffling.
Yeah.
And you were so pissed off, and as soon as you went downstairs, you remembered again that door had been locked, and you were just so pissed off, and you're like, I just want to open this door, and you walked over to the door, and I remember being behind you, and you just went like this, boop, and the whole door just opened again. And we both just sat there like, what?
Yeah.
This door, we could not do anything to get this door open more.
This door has a positive locking mechanism, and once it's latched in there, there's no way that's opening unless you have the key
combination
for it, or the combination.
Yeah, it was
like an 20 19 or 1800s.
Oh yeah, 1800 safe. This was a hard case safe. The thing is, you tried it.
Yeah.
We would go. Unfortunately, you weren't at the Bullock. You couldn't make it at the Bullock. That's right. So Colin couldn't make it at the Bullock that night, but me, Colin, Melanie were there. So Kyle tried it. We jiggled the safe, and I because I'm the one to close it by accident. I felt so bad. I'm struggling with this safe, going, please open, please open. And we tried as much as we could, and there's no way. And I know me and Kyle are not weak guys, and we tried. Even the owner, Robert, tried to open this safe, and we were yanking this thing. We were pulling at it, and we were trying to force this thing open. No way, it wasn't going to open.
Nope.
It didn't, right?
Nope.
And you were there. Tracy was there.
Yeah.
Taylor was there.
Yeah, blocking messages.
And there was no way. We had witnesses. There's no way. We're trying to open up the safe, and like Melanie was mentioning, I went down there and I just gave it a couple of wiggles, and boom, the safe opened.
Yeah,
we don't know how that happened.
I even tried to jimmy it with
Yeah.
We were so desperate. Oh, please, we gotta get it
yeah.
open. We gotta get it open. So that was one of the weird experiences that happened in at the Bullock House.
Oh, and we also heard. I remember when I forget his name. He lived there for 20 years. Do you remember his name? We had.
The one we had an interview with him at the restaurant.
At the restaurant, yeah. So
he.
I can't remember
his name.
I can't remember his name, but it'll come to me. Sorry. So I remember when he came, he said that this has happened to a couple of other people who have
The safe?
Yeah,
The
just
safe just
accidentally
closed,
close
yeah,
the safe. And they try getting it open, and they panic, and then eventually, a couple hours later, they go and they try it again, and it opens. And apparently, it's
So
just
this would be something that's reoccurring.
It's reoccurring. Yeah, he said that it's happened to like 4 other people before. Pretty sure that's what he said. Yeah.
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 Well, there's one thing that we also caught at the Bullock House that we wanted to queue up that audio. We did catch it on audio when we were in the Red Room. We were doing a bunch of experiments, doing EVPs, Ghost Box in the Red Room, which is at the far front of the house. I don't know which, it's east or west, whatever. And it's on audio, we heard a door close.
Yeah.
And we have it on audio. Unfortunately, we can't queue it up for you because, like I said, we had a couple of glitches to do with the system. So
we can always try again.
That was in the...
Yeah, we'll try again.
That's in the Eleanor room?
That was this was in the Bullock. So that's the Red Room in the corner where there was a chest in the front.
Yeah.
And we heard a door, and we actually caught it on audio, but nobody was moving around because we had radioed into base.
Yeah.
And we asked Tracy to see if somebody was like if the owners were moving around or opening up a door.
Yeah,
Nobody
I
did.
remember. Yeah.
And on the audio, I don't know if it's you or me, Kyle, you hear me say, "Did you see that door move?"
Oh yeah, no.
And we caught it on audio.
Oh no,
so,
that's what we're talking about. No, that was in behind us. That sound came from the washroom in behind us.
Yeah.
And it was clear. I turned around and look. I didn't see it move. You've seen it move, I guess.
I saw something moving. I thought it was a door moving,
Yeah.
but we actually caught it on audio also.
And it was
because I heard the sound and I thought I saw it move.
A couple of thumps, yeah. And it was all these experiences happened after questions every time. Like there was, I'd say there were a good 7-8 times in that concentrated in that
The one
45-minute period,
Yeah.
And it was like it always happened after somebody asked a question.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at the Bullock we had some personal experiences which were not, because it's not credible evidence, we're not going to share, but we had a lot of personal experiences which we've actually shared with the owners when me and Tracy did the reveal, and they were quite, how would I say that, perplexed by the experiences we had. We were hoping to validate those experiences in some kind of a form, but unfortunately, personal experiences cannot be validated as concrete evidence. Now, we also did Presbyterian.
St. Andrews.
St. Andrews. You weren't at St. Andrews, but Colin was at St. Andrews. So sometimes
that was one of my favorite
investigations.
Opposite.
Yeah. So sometimes not all the team members can make it at investigations. So that's why Colin wasn't at one, Melanie was at the other. So the church, Colin, what's your opinion on the church? What do you think?
I mean, we definitely had some bizarre things happen at the church. I think my most memorable part was you falling down the stairs.
What?
Why is that memorable? I fell down the stairs. No,
what happened?
You're on the balcony.
Because you weren't there. I thought we shared this with you. No. Okay, this was weird. You were there, Kyle?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so we were doing in the church we were reading off the Bible to try to get to Syracuse or whatever, trying to get some activity going by reading from the Bible. And Colin was doing a ghost box.
I was, yeah.
With the headphones.
With the headphones. So I had the headphones on, and everybody's asking questions, and I'm just spitting back what's coming through the ghost box, and I don't even know what the questions that they're asking, so I didn't really know what was going on outside. But as I'm listening, all of a sudden I hear this boom, this thud, and I kind of feel everything shake. So I took my headphones off and found out that Dan had fallen on the balcony upstairs.
Why are you laughing when you're saying this?
Because it's entertaining.
When Dan falls, it's just there he goes. He fell.
Yeah. Okay, so
yeah, maybe you can tell from your perspective.
Yeah, what happened falling?
Yeah,
because you just want to know, don't you?
I really do want to
know. So my perspective was that I don't know who was reading from the Bible. I think it might have been Taylor. I'm not sure. You were doing the ghost box. I think it might have been Taylor reading from the Bible to get some activity going. And Colin doing the ghost box, he can't hear a word we're saying. Yeah. So he says something to the effect, go up, and then he says, now.
Oh, yeah.
So Adam goes, Dan, let's go up to the balcony now and see what's going on. Probably that's the only place you can go up is up to the balcony where the church is.
Yeah. Also, side story. Wasn't there like a supposed figure that was shown that used to like appear on the balcony?
Supposedly that there's
Yeah.
a shadow figure that used to, we didn't capture that.
Yeah, we didn't.
But that was one of the
One of the
reported
accounts.
events was that somebody.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a tall man, a tall man.
Yeah, or
supposedly
something.
A shadow.
Yeah.
Some kind of
Anyways,
figure that would
Yeah.
appear on the balcony. So
like getting like
And
from the
just
spirit
slumped.
box, like coming through and saying like up, go up, all that stuff. So Dan and Adam
Oh.
decided they were gonna go and investigate the balcony, which is where that apparition showed up sometimes, I guess, apparently. So
yeah.
what happened up there?
So me and Adam ended up going upstairs, and Adam was behind me with the camera, and we actually caught this on camera. It's actually kind of funny, but I'm not gonna say that I was pushed because that's just assuming. But I tripped. I'm gonna say I tripped. Whether I was pushed or not, I don't think so. I tripped. I fell over and I rammed into the balcony wall with my shoulder. And almost fell off the balcony. Like I was either somebody didn't like me in that place, but I almost could have actually fell over the balcony, and I got hurt. Like I bruised my knee. I had a big scrape on my elbow. It was kind of weird that Colin would say go up. Now I go up with Adam, and then I take this tumble. Now whether or not somebody doesn't like me in there, and they decided okay let's trip the guy or push him down the stairs or try to push him off the balcony. I'm not gonna say that. That's assumptions, but it was kind of weird. That everything just kind of snowballed and that happened. That was just that again. That's a personal experience. I'm not saying it's paranormal, but it was weird.
Absolutely.
Wow.
What else happened? Oh, there's the one where everybody went off individually in the church and we're doing the revolving EVP, and I was in the bell tower, I think.
Yeah.
So while I was in the bell tower, I kept on like hearing these noises, and then I shined my flashlight up, and there was a bunch of bats. And that's really all I remember.
In the bell
bats.
tower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many bats in that
Bats
church.
in the belfry, you know.
Well, we had some in the basement too.
Yeah, there's bats
We
in the
actually caught them on
basement.
camera. Unfortunately, it's not paranormal.
No.
But it was kind
But
of
it was
freaky.
interesting.
Yeah, the kind of stuff you see at investigations. Anyways, that's what we
Yeah, I'm trying to
Well, you
figure
got poked in the eye, didn't you?
Oh, that was
Uh,
weird. That was weird. That's,
What?
why is it all just happening?
Just
like
all
me.
stuff happens to your
I
face.
was reading from the Bible. Again, we all took
Okay,
our turns.
okay.
I think Colin did it. We all took our turns
did
reading
too,
from
yeah.
the Bible to get some stuff going.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just reading, and then suddenly I get this stabbing pain right in the corner of my eye.
Like a lobotomy.
Like somebody just stuck a needle right in my eye.
Like a
and I kinda-
lobotomy.
Maybe.
Terrible.
It was. Yeah, it was. It was terrible. It hurt like a son of a
Well,
gun.
yeah,
right?
because you actually pleaded with it to stop.
I said, oh
Yeah.
my God, what's this? Oh, that hurts.
Hello, Father, please stop.
Yeah, oh yeah, please.
Uh.
And that was shortly. That wasn't too long before my little tumble on the balcony. Also,
No.
just kind of everything. But what was I doing there? Also, which I did at the Trinity, was irking,
Nay, provoking.
provoking, and eventually, when you provoke, sometimes you get something. I'm not saying that getting poked in the eye. I did some research after getting a stabbing pain in the eye, and that could be related to some eye disease of some kind. There's a few things that it could be attributed to. So I'm not going to call it paranormal, but it was weird
But
that I
you've
felt a
never
stab.
had-
I've
had
never
that
had that
before,
before
though,
happen in my
yeah.
life. I never got a stab in the eye.
Probably just your glaucoma.
Thanks, Colin. When's your contract over?
When you gonna go to the doctor? Glaucoma fans?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, that's why I wear
Fans,
glasses, right?
pants and face.
That's why I wear
Together.
glasses.
That's
My
good.
eyes are crappy.
Yeah, what else sort of paranormal happened there?
There was some personal experiences.
Yeah, some personal experiences that we can't really
Yeah.
validate. We didn't capture a whole lot of evidence there, though.
No, I don't.
did
I
Well-
wasn't as active as some of the other places. I
No.
know.
It was a very church was a great place to investigate it. The one thing when me and Tracy went to do the reveal, unfortunately we don't have the audio here. There was two pieces that we caught where, at one point you hear dripping inside the church,
Huh.
like water dripping.
Yeah.
And when I asked Dave and Robin, I said, "Is there any kind of water source inside the church?" Like I thought maybe like.
Dripping
You
tap
know
faucet.
when you go in a church and you
No, of
you
course.
dab yourself
Yeah.
with water. I asked, is there like a bowl like that? And he said, no, we haven't had one in a long time. So I said, there's no water source in in the church. He said, no. Well, I said, listen to this, and we actually caught a dripping sound like
Wow, like
Look.
bloop, bloop.
Yeah.
like water dripping. And Robin and Dave actually confirmed that it was water dripping. So I said, well, where would that source come from? and they had no clue
Wow.
whether it's paranormal or
That's
not.
awesome.
Where
Like-
was that caught? Where
In the church.
No, yeah, where
In the
which
church.
part? Which part?
I think we had the task cam right in front of the pulpit.
Okay.
I think is when it was on the floor.
Yeah, that's odd because I was gonna say if it was near like some drainage or
Yeah,
some
something
water
like that.
outside, but if it's
And, like,
out in the church,
Maybe
No, it
there
was
was like a
inside
leak.
the
in
church.
It was raining that day, so maybe there was like a leak in the church somewhere or something
That
like
could
that.
be,
it
but
was
you know
just-
what it sounded like? It sounded like water dripping into water.
Yeah.
And we didn't find any.
Yeah.
We didn't find any water spots anywhere in the church while we were
No.
investigating.
No.
We would have noticed that. So
Absolutely, 100%.
I don't know.
Imprint of all the baptisms that may have happened in that church.
But the church, we had a great time. Robin was fun. She played the organ for us.
That
Aw.
was wicked.
That was wicked,
That was
especially
wicked.
Mozart. Moonlight Sonata was amazing. It's
Oh
an
wow,
amazing song.
that should have been great.
So we had a great time at the church. A few little pieces, whether it's haunted or not, I would tend to say we can't make that assumption or that claim right now. Again, personal experiences, but we can't make the claim that it's haunted. So what else do we do? Gananoque, that we haven't really closed up as far as evidence and locations.
Well, we talked
There was-
about Trinity House last week. Talked
Yeah.
about the hardware store,
Donovan's, yeah.
Donovan's, and we talked about the ice cream stand.
Mm-hmm.
What about the visitor center
yeah,
and
visitor
the?
center?
Unfortunately,
there wasn't much that happened.
no.
there.
Unfortunately,
No,
no.
no evidence caught anyway.
No. We reviewed pretty much everything from the town center and visitor center. Sorry, Sherry and Brenda. We just didn't catch anything. We didn't catch anything on audio, nothing on video. So
What about those lasers being blocked out?
I know we
Lasers?
thought we
With
had
like
set
the
up,
and
we
especially
had,
with like the patterns and stuff and like me.
but remember what I told you? I
that.
said that it's probably our eyes playing tricks on us.
No, but then the video that me and Kyle went through, there was like those two spots where like there was these irregular patterns that happened within the laser.
Was that when we
and
had-
we were
No.
all on the floor behind.
Yeah, no, like we did. I know you did block it out at one point,
Yeah.
joking around, but it was apart.
It was
from that,
totally
yeah.
away from that
Yeah.
completely. That was way down the line. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like I think we should definitely when we find that we should show it the next time because
Yeah.
like there was these really irregular patterns
You could
with
tell
the
it wasn't.
blockings. It was
the
like-
fingers going.
It was like
across
it was like a
or
shape within the laser that got cut out, like as if like this little laser on here
Mm-hmm.
would have like a shape of like a dolphin or something put through it. It was kind of like that. Like it wasn't it was irregular, you know. Like I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're gonna have to
Makes
test
sense.
it because
Yeah.
we do remember seeing the it was a flash up with a red laser, and we do remember the laser. It seemed like the laser was getting blocked, like something was passing in front of it. I kept thinking it was just our eyes playing tricks on us. We all have different opinions on it, so we're gonna have to test it.
I'm
and-
pretty sure though when me and Kyle reviewed the footage, there was this one part where it moved, and you said, "Did that light just block out?" And like it was like right after it happened, but you didn't do it. It was you did
Yeah.
it later on.
Yeah.
And there was
Yeah.
There was one
I
time
did
where
it
no
as a
one
joke,
said
as a
anything.
joke.
There
Oh,
was-
look at it.
But there was one time where like it did block out. No one said anything, but the second time it did it, you mentioned something. Like did that just get blocked out or something?
Yeah.
But no one noticed the first time it happened.
Yeah.
That's why we were like, like that's cool because it didn't have audio the first time I listened to it, but I think the second time we listened to it, it did.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find that again and we'll go back and see it because I think that was like one crucial thing that like happened that was totally irregular.
Well, it's something we definitely should test on other investigation. We do have lasers now that we can have a grid
Yeah?
lasers that we can
Okay.
try and see if we can use
Yeah, well,
do those
I'm,
experiments again.
I'm in the process of making it kind of looks like a disco ball, and it's going to encompass the whole room, you know, with lasers. So
Yeah.
if there's any movement anywhere in the
Yeah,
room,
we're gonna
there,
catch it on
it'll
camera.
Catch it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So the
Very cool.
Presbyterian Church Town Hall Visitor Center, not too much. I might, maybe we'll go through the stuff again to try to see if we can still catch some more stuff. Town Center Visitor Center, nothing. Bullock, some personal experiences, a
Well,
few
there was
audio
a-
that hopefully people could listen to.
There was a few little kind of grunts or growls, that we couldn't quite in the.
Yeah, I
visitor
think so.
center.
There was a couple of things,
Yeah.
But I think when
No,
you
we
came
can't.
when you came over, we just went, well, is
It's
it
not
presentable?
100%,
Is it
yeah.
presentable evidence? Probably not. Like I said, we take a more scientific approach. So if it's not something credible enough to even present, we're not gonna show it to either the owners or anybody from the public.
Unless
We're getting cue cards.
Are there?
like I can't read that.
Fan
Why-
questions. Well,
Okay,
considering
fan
there's-
questions, yeah.
Considering there's one other person watching other than me, no fan questions at this time.
Not at this time. If you, maybe people can comment later if they.
But
have
yeah, if
questions.
anybody watching has any questions at any time, throw it in the YouTube comments. I have my phone right here. I'm monitoring it. We will answer all of your questions as soon as they come in.
Okay. So how are we doing on time? Let's not do it. It's going on 8 o'clock. So let's talk about the next episode. What we're going to talk about. Eventually, right now we can say that unless we come up with some other, pieces of evidence, which we'll just post on our Facebook channel.
Facebook, I started a
My
French
Facebook channel.
French
Yeah,
accent that starts
French accent
coming
coming
out.
up. Which we'll post on our Facebook channel. If we ever find anything else from the Gananoque investigations, we'll certainly let you know, and we'll post it on our pages.
Yeah,
All
if you
of-
guys have been there, maybe even so, if anyone else has experiences on where we've been too, we'd like to hear your little inputs and what you've experienced too, and maybe corroborate some information and
Yeah.
yeah.
All of the evidence that we do have that we try to show on this, we are going to post online, right?
Oh yeah, we'll post
Okay.
them online too. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you guys will see the evidence that was featured in this on the Facebook page coming out after this, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, we'll post them maybe tomorrow during the day.
Perfect.
So next episode. Now, what else did we do as far as a team? We also we try to go to locations, debunk potential reported accounts. We also what else do we do? We debunk equipment, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we do a lot of tests with the Ghost Box. Eventually, we'll get an Ovilus and try to see if that's actual credible equipment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what about the next episode? We did talk about maybe debunking equipment, right?
Yeah.
To actually put the equipment to the test.
Yeah.
And also letting people know how equipment should be used.
Yeah,
Or in our opinion, how we think it should be used, to do
maybe we could
paranormal
do
investigations.
the review of the equipment, how it works, and also maybe a live EVP session and a live ghost box session just to show it how it works and when it does not work and just stuff like that.
Could talk about how we use the
Interactive,
equipment and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, equipment. So
that
we're
we
probably
do.
going to do, maybe next one we should do it. How about EVPs? We'll cover EVPs. How
EVPs will be
EVPs
on
should
the
be
next
conducted.
one?
How about a controlled environment?
Yeah.
Actually, we still have time because we started late today.
So
So we got about a good 20 minutes to go.
I think we can leave it till next.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Just because I think that next time we can also make sure that this area is taken care of with trying to feed into the audio through our feeds too. And I think that we'll have a little bit more to show people too. Maybe we can gather a bunch of EVP sessions since we're going to be covering EVPs and have a longer episode next time that show a lot more little bits of evidence that maybe we have if we master this queuing up
from our
of
past,
the videos.
yeah.
I think that would be helpful, and I'll bring the ghost box when I see you guys next time, and we could do little experiments too, and maybe we could do ghost stories. We could tell each other
That's a good
personal,
idea.
we could go personal and have personal experiences. Because you weren't there for my experience, but neither was I. But I'm not going to discredit you for the experience you had.
Which one was this?
When your candle flew off the.
Oh,
the
yeah.
those kind of personal
Yeah.
experiences too. So I think maybe we could all have some ghost stories next time and.
We got a bit of time. How about we share a couple of our
share
personal
some-
experiences
share
that we've
some
had in the
ghost
past?
stories.
Share some ghost stories.
Share some ghost stories.
Actually, share one now.
Share a ghost story now.
Share a ghost story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did you start doing the investigation?
Okay.
What's your ghost story?
I have a
Share-
cool ghost
share a
story.
quick-
Okay.
What put you in this?
All right. So,
Come.
I was born and raised in New Brunswick on the coast of the Bay of Fundy, and on that coast, off of the city of St. John, which is the city that I grew up in, there is an island. And a lot of settlers who were coming from Ireland and a couple of other European countries, they had to go to this island called Partridge Island, and they were quarantined there to be tested and treated for typhus fever. So no diseases got into Canada. So Canadians didn't get sick. So I can't remember the exact dates of when this was functional, but I want to say the late 1700s to the mid to late 1800s, maybe even into the 1900s, but don't quote those dates. Yeah, so every year about 70,000 people came through that island, and were tested and treated for typhus fever. Some people did die. I think it was like 1,200 people had died and were buried on the island. In 2014, I went over to the island with a camera just to explore, because it's all like ruins now. There's like tunnels on the ground, under the ground, and you can see like all the old buildings and stuff. A lot of it is destroyed and was destroyed by reckless teenagers. But yeah, it's still a pretty cool place to go explore and adventure. So anyways, I was in the tunnels and I was just taking pictures, and in one of the pictures it looks like there's like a little boy standing there, but it could just be like matrixing, could be like, you know, steam from underneath the tunnels, because there was like a lot of fog and steam or something underneath there. It could have been like the calcium deposits that were coming out of the old concrete or cement. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, there's like a lot of like white spots and stuff on the wall. But we'll share the picture on our Facebook page and see what everybody else thinks.
Yeah, get people's opinions.
But yeah, so like from that moment on, I was kind of like, whoa, that is really interesting. So then I had moved to Ottawa, and you know, I was still kind of curious about all of this stuff, and I really wanted to investigate the jail hostel. So I posted a status on Facebook, and then like through friends and stuff, I got in contact with Taylor, who's another member on the team, and she told me about G.H.O.S.T, like the team that I'm on right now. So I applied and started investigating, and it's been great.
And here you are in Maxfield.
And then I got into the jail hostel, and we filmed the whole episode, and it's gonna be coming out soon. Put a lot of work into it. So plug. Yeah, Adam and I have been working pretty hard over the last little bit, trying to get this episode out, trying to make it perfect. And I'm getting so excited to share it with y'all.
2019 coming up.
2019
January.
Let's say February.
Maybe let's say March. February, okay? Because we want it to be perfect. Right?
Yeah, I want it to be perfect.
So we're tweaking.
Yeah, and like it's the first, you know, pilot for a TV show that Adam and I have done. So, you know, we're kind of taking our time, making sure that we're doing everything right, making sure the story's great, and everything is just perfect.
To that.
Yeah. So we'll get together. We'll kind of figure out all the scenes and stuff.
Exactly.
So
it's almost done.
So you're with the team now. How long now? Geez, 2 years.
2 years.
Now? At least 2 years. Yeah.
2 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, it would have been 2 years in November.
Fast. So you're a survivor of G.H.O.S.T.
I'm a survivor.
You've stuck around. We've had plenty of people come in and out of this team, so yeah, I call Colin one of the survivors. Melanie.
Yep.
One experience you had that pushed you to become a ghost.
Oh my god.
Investigator.
I feel like I have to go back, but I feel like there's been more recent things that have happened that kind of like are just totally non-dimensional. Okay, I'm gonna tell a story that happened recently. Okay. And it's very valid because my dad committed suicide in September, and like ever since he died, there's been a lot of like crazy, unexplainable things that have been happening, like that have either helped me or given me advice to do things differently so that I get better results. Very interesting. Okay, so this is what happened recently. So my birthday just passed, and first birthday with dad. So I've just been kind of like calling on him a lot for like just helping me with things, and just for comfort, I suppose. And so I was at work on a Sunday, and I usually never leave like my work. I'm a mortician, so I usually never leave my work. I'm usually a full-time embalmer, so I don't leave. But I had some time that day, and so I took one of our company vehicles to another chapel, 2 different locations, and I brought my wallet with me. So I like put my wallet in the van, and I go home, and I come back the next day, and I'm like, oh, like I want to make a coffee, but I don't have my wallet. So I'm like, okay. I go home at lunchtime. I check. It's not there. So on the porch of my house, I said to Stefan, my partner, I said, pray to dad for me that I find this wallet. So I leave and I go to work. And like my car, okay, so I'm saying this because my car has been warmed up for about 45 minutes an hour at this point. So it's warm. And I have a brand new car, so it doesn't have like any leaks in it essentially. There's no draft that comes through. It's pretty consistently a temperature. So I'm getting onto the highway at Vanny Parkway, and I say to myself, Dad, please just help me find my wallet. I don't want to panic. And when my dad was alive, I lost my license and stuff all the time. He said, you dumbass, you keep losing it. So I'm like, okay. And in my head, I hear it's in the van, it's in the van. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to believe it's in the van where I last saw it. No big deal. I'll check it when I get back. So I'm pulling off the highway at Metcalfe and St. Catherine Street in Ottawa. And I get to the light and I have my hand on my shifter, just relaxing. And all of a sudden, this giant blast of cold air just like sat on my hand, and I was just kind of like, do I, like, what's happening? Like, my car is completely hot as hell. Like, I'm in my jacket, and I'm like, Dad, like, are you here right now? And I was like, I feel like you are, but I'm not sure. And then all of a sudden, I looked up, and there was a Buick in front of me, which my dad used to drive, and the license plate said M34 Dad. And I just was like, holy crap, man. Like, there's no way that I just would have showed up at this stoplight and everything, and it was crazy. So I get back to work. I check the van. 2 other my coworkers check the van. My wallet's not there. So I go, I say, okay, like, it's got to be somewhere, whatever. I'll just disregard it. So I started to lose faith a little bit. And then, in my head before the end of the day, I heard, just go check one more time. So I was like, all right, I'll just go check one more time. And I opened the passenger door of that van where everyone else had looked, and there is my wallet after I had already looked.
Where was it, on the seat?
No, it was in the side door, which
I
had put my hand through before I had gotten back into that van. Like, it didn't make sense to anyone. But anyways, all day I was telling everyone to pray for me, pray for me, pray for me. Every person that I saw, I said, pray for me, because I had everything in that wallet. I call my mom on the drive home after that all happened. And I tell her, and she says, Mel, she's like, all day long I've been searching for my Bible because I felt the need to pray for you today. She's like, I needed to pray for you. I prayed for you twice. I prayed that you had a good day. I prayed that you had everything you needed. I prayed that, everything was going to work out for you. And I had no idea that you were, you had lost that, you had gone through all that stuff, and you were telling everyone to pray for you at that time. And I just had this instinct to go and do that. So I was like, wow. So this was like a huge thing that just happened recently, and I was very grateful it happened. It kind of gave me hope again. So this is why, because all these experiences have happened in my life so strongly.
This would have been the most
recent one. So it's like this consistent pattern has happened, but it's like this has been the most recent one, and I'm just kind of like, holy fuck. Like, it's just, I'm good.
Bleep.
Like, it just bleep. 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 But yeah, you know what I'm saying, you know. So yeah, I just thought I'd share. So now I'm here. I'm a ghost. Taylor helped me out, and now I'm here, and it's good. Yeah. It's good. I'm happy.
And you're right now one of the newest members.
Yeah.
So now, I think all of us have had some personal experiences. I think, Kyle, I don't think you've had a lot of stuff.
No,
not much happened.
I'm the skeptic of the group.
He's the skeptic of the group. Kyle's the skeptic, Mr. MacGyver.
Explain everything that
we have a question.
Oh, we have a question?
We have a question.
Yes.
So, Andrew McGibbon says, would you recommend cell phone recorders for capturing EVPs?
I don't know. What do you think, Kyle? Cell phone recorders?
Well, I suppose, yeah. I wouldn't. I don't know all the details about recording. I don't think it would be as good as a digital.
No. I cell phones are kind of an iffy thing because they can interfere with so much of the equipment. Now, I don't know. I know iPhones could be
the tower.
Yeah, it could pick up a lot of stuff. It could pick up tower interference much more so than a digital voice recorder. I'm not saying they'd be terrible. Would I use them myself for doing EVPs, or would the team use them? I would probably say no, because it could capture a phone. You can call somebody across the world with a cell phone. So it tells you you're not going to capture some kind of interference from a radio station, or, like Kyle said, a tower. So the answer would be no. I wouldn't use a cell phone for EVPs, or I don't think any one of us would.
One interesting experiment, though, would be that have somebody at each end of the building and try and call. So I say me, I try and call you at the other end of the building. You could potentially pick something up in between there.
It could capture, it could capture a voice. So, cell phones. I mean, recommendations for conducting good EVPs. There's a lot of digital voice recorders out there that you can get. that are half decent. You don't have to go super expensive. You can get a half decent one for like $100. If you get like some of the ones we have, like the Tascams are very good. The Zooms are good also, Colin.
Yep.
So you get a lot less background noise with these recorders. With the Tascam DR40, you can put this in a room and somebody could drop a pin and it's going to hear it, but it's not going to capture anything else. It'll just capture the sound itself, and you can actually know whether it's an EVP or not. And it's extremely sensitive. That's why when we do EVPs, we try not to whisper. Because it could be mistaken for an EVP. So I would prefer that you'd buy probably a lower budget recorder, or if you want to go with the Tascams, the DR40, DR5 is also a good one, and the Zoom series recorders are pretty good.
Yeah, the Zoom H series, like the H4, H5, I think there's an H6 now. All those are incredible for capturing audio.
And without getting a lot of interference, because
exactly.
They're very good recorders.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the frequency range on it is,
I'd
but
have
I
to
think
look it
it's
up.
fairly high and it's outside the human, outside the zone of human hearing.
I think so as well.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Or even with a cell phone,
It's just the one
like
there.
unless there's something like that is very obvious that you catch, then you can. But any smaller like distance sounds, I wouldn't rely.
Well, I guess you could use a cell phone at first, but you just can't. You'd have to be a little bit more critical of the evidence you capture.
Yeah.
Because of possible interference with
Right.
a cell phone. I mean, you can't call somebody halfway across the world with a digital voice recorder.
I mean, I've had
But
like
you
my.
can with a
You
cell
can?
phone.
But
No,
I've had like
can you try?
conversations overlap in a cell phone conversation. Like you get this interference where you think you're hearing two other people talking, but that used to happen on landlines too as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, yeah.
When we were kids, we'd be on a three-way, we'd be talking to each other, and all of a sudden you'd hear this other conversation happening in the phone, and you're like, huh?
Yeah.
But it's a landline, so. Dun, dun, dun.
Demons.
Dun, dun,
Well,
dun.
just to give you an example of that, when I first started this team, we did location in the West End, and we actually we thought we were hearing a child's voice coming up on the two-way, but you know what it was?
What?
It was a neighbor, their child's baby monitor.
Oh.
The house, the neighboring house, the child's because we heard the mother goes, well, go clean your room. And mommy, I don't want to. And then we thought, oh my God, it's weird. A voice came over on the
that's
two-way
strange.
radio.
Yeah.
But it was actually the baby monitor that the two-way captured from the neighboring house.
Huh.
And we thought it was like, wow,
interference.
it's
Yeah.
interference. It's
Huh.
interference.
Yeah.
So anytime you deal with two-way radios, cell phones on investigation, like cell phones will trigger off an EMF meter, giving you a false reading. Stuff like that, cell phones are great if you want to do live feeds, but you have to be very critical of whatever you capture with them because they could interfere with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we should probably wrap up here soon. We're almost
Yeah,
at,
I think so. So next episode, we're going to talk about
gear.
Pardon?
EVPs. Gear. EVPs.
Gear, EVP. So we're going to concentrate on, let's say, digital voice recorders.
Sure.
How to conduct proper EVPs, how to have a controlled environment for EVPs, because of course you can get a lot of contamination.
Yeah.
You don't whisper, you do all that stuff. So
And tagging.
tagging is
Yeah.
is a big thing, but we'll get into all that stuff on the next episode. So we're going to go through EVPs, recorders, how to conduct proper EVPs, and how to have a controlled environment to have less contamination.
Agreed.
Agreed. Okay, guys, thanks for joining us. If you have any comments on our feed, if you've noticed any issues with the sound, with the video, let us know. Like I said, we're trying something new here, whole new setup. So join us on our next session, which will be January 26th.
26th?
Yeah, 26th will be the last. It's every last Saturday of the month. And we'll be going through recorders, EVPs, and controlled environments and how we kind of do it as a team. So thanks for joining us. And join us again January 26, 2019 for the next episode. Take care, Merry Christmas, and have a great, Happy New Year.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Fade out.